these girls, but I'm tuning in specifically to see her. You guys are terrible. I mean, wow. Let us know when they put Cece in, and we'll tune in. Total joke. You hate the fans constantly undermine Caitlin Clark. The fact that you actually justify not starting Cece just tells me there's no hope for U.S.
239 days. That's how long fans waited to see Caitlin Clark back on a basketball court. And when she finally returned for Team USA basketball, the response wasn't celebration. It was outrage, because the biggest draw in women's basketball, the player who single-handedly changed WNBA viewership numbers, didn't start the game. Chelsea Gray did. Chelsea Gray, who played 11 minutes, scored 3 points and had 1 assist. Meanwhile, Clark came off the bench and absolutely torched the competition. 17 points, 12 assists, 4 of 5 from three-point range in just 19 minutes. This wasn't just a return, this was a statement, and the controversy around it reveals everything wrong with how USA Basketball treats its biggest star.
Caitlin Clark from deep. Let's check it out. Right here. And she's going to come around the side, way downtown. Boom. Knocked it in. I mean, absolutely beautiful stuff. Here we go. This is our first three right here. You got Kelsey Plum over to Monique Billings, over to Caitlin Clark. Boom. Right there with the little kiss off the glass.
Look at that shot. Way downtown, off the glass, pure dominance. This is what people tuned in to see. Not Chelsea Gray running the offense, not a veteran presence that contributed almost nothing to a 104-46 blowout. They wanted Caitlin Clark doing Caitlin Clark things, and the numbers back that up. She had 8.8 assists at halftime alone. She was dishing out assists like John Stockton in his prime, hitting threes from distances that make defenders look silly, and orchestrating an offense that didn't need her to start to prove she's the best player on that court.
Line, I'm having John Stockton flashbacks. If you're old enough to know, then you know John Stockton was one hell of a point guard dishing out the rock. Let's watch.
Hands it right back, and Clark.
Right here. Yeah, right there. That was nice. Very nice. One more time. How about one more time? It looks like that's Billings to the basket for the layup.
That pass right there, to Angel Reese no less. The player she's been compared to, competed against, and supposedly feuding with according to media narratives. Beautiful basketball, unselfish play, and it happened because Clark wasn't worried about starting lineups or politics. She just played. But here's what makes this entire situation absurd. The fans who showed up to watch this game, the people who tuned in online, the viewers who drove the WNBA to record ratings this past season, they all came for one reason, and USA Basketball's coaching staff decided that reason should come off the bench behind a player who's clearly past her prime.
But, yeah, sure. Let's put Chelsea Gray in. What is the deal, folks? What is the deal? Chelsea Gray, 11 minutes, 3 points, 1 assist, 2 rebounds. Stop it. Stop that nonsense. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Clown show. I definitely turned it off when I saw Caitlin wasn't starting. A joke. Shake my head. Clown show. CC not starting. Just a joke. Woo, boy. Boom, man.
The social media reaction was immediate and brutal. Fans calling it a clown show, people saying they'd only tune in when Clark entered the game, comments about how the old guard is holding up the CBA negotiations while simultaneously disrespecting the player who made those negotiations possible in the first place. Because let's be very clear about something. The only reason WNBA players are in position to negotiate better contracts, better revenue sharing, better anything, is because Caitlin Clark brought millions of new eyeballs to the league. Her rookie season generated viewership numbers that executives couldn't have dreamed of 2 years ago. And this is how USA Basketball shows appreciation, by starting Chelsea Gray.
So posted the starting lineup. Here we go. Yep, clown shows. Yep. What a clown show. The old players have got to go. Isn't it funny that the old players are the ones holding up a CBA right now? The only reason they're there, being able to be put in a position to get a raise is because of Caitlin Clark. Isn't it funny how that works? I mean, come on. Stephanie White strikes again. Guys, I was in the chat moderating for Ben Daniels' live stream while this is going on. Make sure you guys come join when they're... If Caitlin Clark...
Even Stephanie White caught collateral damage in the comments. Fans were furious, and they weren't holding back. The worst part, this was entirely predictable. Anyone who's been paying attention to how USA Basketball operates knew this was coming. There's an agenda at work here. And it's not about putting the best players on the court first. It's about hierarchy, about paying dues, about respecting the established order, even when that order doesn't make basketball sense anymore. Clark could have started that game, set the tone from the opening tip, and still played limited minutes to manage her workload. Instead, she had to prove herself all over again.
I gotta tell you, I knew. When she was not in the starting lineup, it was going to get ugly. Caitlin Clark with the double-double in her first game in over 200 days. She had 8 points, 8 assists at the half, folks. Yeah, so interesting there. I knew the blowback. Social media explodes in 3, 2, 1. Agenda at work at USA Basketball. Guys, I told you. I've been telling you for a while. Get ready for that USA Basketball agenda. Did I not? Here we are.
And prove herself she did. Double-double in her first game back, after more than 200 days away from competitive basketball. Not just a double-double, but an efficient, dominant performance that showed zero rust. 4 of 5 from three-point range isn't lucky shooting. That's elite preparation meeting elite talent. 12 assists in 19 minutes means she was creating opportunities for teammates at a historic rate. The math works out to nearly 40 assists per 36 minutes. That's not just good. That's generational point guard play. This is what makes the starting lineup decisions so baffling. You have a player capable of this level of production, and you're bringing her off the bench?
Burns it down. It burns the house down. By the way, how about you never ever schedule events in Puerto Rico again? That crowd showing was pathetic, and it very much hurt the feel of this game with nobody there. And hey, don't start a game at 5 p.m. on a Wednesday. That certainly doesn't help people showing up either. I mean, I don't know what kind of work schedules they have in Puerto Rico, but I would guess at 5 p.m. on a Wednesday, people can and probably are still working. Unbelievable. Caitlin Clark comes back that quick, burns it up. Best player on the court. And it's not close. It's not close. Double-double. Tell me what you think. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed.
Here's what this reveals about USA Basketball's priorities, and it's not pretty. This game was played in Puerto Rico at 5 p.m. on a Wednesday. The crowd was pathetic. Almost nobody showed up. The atmosphere felt empty, lifeless, completely wrong for what should have been a celebration of Clark's return. You schedule a game at 5 p.m. on a Wednesday in a location where the local fan base clearly isn't invested in women's basketball, and then you don't even start your biggest draw. That's not just bad basketball decisions, that's bad business. That's not understanding your product or your audience. The people running USA Basketball need to understand something fundamental. Caitlin Clark isn't just another talented player who needs to wait her turn. She's a transformational figure who's already changed the economics of women's basketball. The WNBA saw attendance records shattered this season. Merchandise sales exploded, television ratings went from niche to mainstream, and all of that happened because Clark brought a new audience to the sport. That new audience doesn't care about veteran hierarchies. They don't care that Chelsea Gray won championships in the past. They care about watching the most exciting player in women's basketball do things nobody else can do. And when you tell that audience they have to wait through the first quarter to see what they came for, you're fundamentally misunderstanding why they showed up. The blowback on social media wasn't just fan disappointment. It was recognition that this pattern keeps repeating. Clark gets disrespected, proves herself anyway. And the people in charge act like they were right all along. She didn't make the Olympic team initially. She dominated college basketball and got left off the roster. Then she dominated the WNBA as a rookie, drove unprecedented interest in the league, and suddenly everyone pretends they always believed in her. Now she comes back after 239 days, and USA Basketball says Chelsea Gray deserves to start over her. Based on what? Past accomplishments? Because if we're judging on current ability, on who gives you the best chance to win, on who your fans actually want to see, there's no debate. Clark starts, she starts every game, and the fact that she doesn't tells you everything about how disconnected the decision makers are from reality. What makes this particularly frustrating is that Clark handled it perfectly. She didn't complain, she didn't demand a starting spot. She came in off the bench and burned the house down. 17 points, 12 assists, complete control of the game whenever she touched the ball. She made the coaching staff look foolish without saying a word. That's the mark of a true professional. But she shouldn't have to prove herself like this. Not after everything she's accomplished. Not after changing the entire landscape of women's basketball. The respect should be automatic at this point. The starting spot should be hers by default. And if USA Basketball can't figure that out, they're going to keep alienating the fan base that Clark built. So here's the question for USA Basketball's coaching staff. Was this worth it?